We live? Hi everyone, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak, his name is Jimmy the Bag, and this is the Loshak and The Bag show for Thursday, July 26th, 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Welcome everyone. Yesterday was an interesting day. A lot of people had losing days. I know Jimmy the Bag had a losing day. I had a losing day. Minus 110 Nostratota on Twitter though. Also had a losing day. A lot of people got a lot of colostomy bags with compromised structure right now.
Sure. I mean, you guys had losing days. I got destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed. It's my worst day of the season. I'm at my low water mark. Everything's fallen apart in the 3 days that I've come back since All-Star break. I came back here very excited. And
yeah, listen, my one thought on that one is that the start of the second half of any regular season, I'm always looking to tread lightly. Same thing happened to me, Jim, the first few days of the regular season as well here. And it hasn't been a good second half of the year. It hasn't been disastrous, but I had that one huge winning day. But yeah, the beginning of any half, the beginning of the first half and the beginning of the second half of any regular season is pretty tricky. You know what I'm saying? And there's also variance in MLB, as we know. Ton of variance in MLB. It's a game of inches, right? Game of inches, game of wild pitches, game of balked in runs, all that sort of thing. Game of pitchers, giving up, pitching well and giving up a 3-run home run here or there. So, there's variance in MLB, and I guess you just got to surf along and try to look for positive EV. You know what I'm saying?
well, I'm not going to sit here and just wallow in self-pity. I apologize for doing that yesterday. I apologize for doing that when I lose. It's the last thing I want to do is come here on the show and be close to a fucking breakdown.
You think that? I think that would increase ratings.
Do you?
I mean, I'm no media executive, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, people want to either see people they hate or people have meltdowns or people seeing things they can't take their eyes off of.
I understand the meltdown. The meltdown is
You're
great.
Saying you don't want it to be you.
No, I don't mind melting down. I don't mind losing my shit, smashing this fucking computer, smashing that fucking camera, and walking out. What I do mind is being sad. I don't want to sit here and be fucking melancholy sad and be like, oh shit, everything's going wrong, and that's all I don't want to do. I don't mind losing my mind. I don't mind open hand slapping you in the face for no reason, taking the coffee, throwing in your face, fucking losing my shit, calling Larry out. I don't mind any of that. What I don't want is just to be the sad fucking loser sitting here just wallowing in self-pity, and that's what I'm going to try not to do.
Who's not sad though? Who's happy? Not me, I'll tell you that. Be members of our chat, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Millionaires, you think millionaires are happy? No, they're not happy, Jimmy the Bag. Who's not sad is my question. Lucrative Larry, that I will believe. that I will believe. I'll grant you that.
Larry's not sad.
You're saying you want to be Lucrative Larry. Well, join the club, Jim. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Lucrative Larry either. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to be, but I have to deal with the fact that I'm not.
Remo says, Pete, ask if you can touch Jimmy and pat him on the back to pick his spirits up. How about this, Pete? Don't fucking touch me. All right? I don't want to be touched right now. But I'm not going to sit here and be sad. But I also don't want to pretend this isn't happening. I want to see that record come up. I'm not, and I know, and I've had a bunch of haters come at me on Twitter. I know they're probably going to come at me on the show too, and that's fine. I deserve it. I'm the one losing. I even lost some Twitter followers.
Really?
After my picks.
How do you know that?
Because you can see the number.
Oh.
The number went down.
But isn't that just like if people, a significant amount?
No, not for me to notice.
But doesn't that happen when there's just like random like Twitter accounts that get deleted and stuff like that? And you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence.
Like why would someone delete someone they follow? Because it clutters up their feed.
They just don't want to see the fuck. They don't want me to fuck with their moves, man.
Well, here you go.
Joe Anisi. Anisi. Sorry, Joe Anisi. I was pronouncing it wrong. It said, just nominated you guys for
here you go. Here you go. For
Steamy.
Oh, that's a little
a Steamy. Okay, a Steamy. Okay, I thought it was a Streamy.
All right, we will get to just some other comments that I want to address here. Look at this. Kobe Valentine, I'm happy. I always stay happy. No reason to ever be down. I believe that. Kobe Valentine, if you ever need an assistant in your business or anything, my name is Peter Loshak. I'm very responsible. I understand I don't look very responsible. I am. Just consider it. I'll send you my resume. Kobe Valentine always stays happy. Man,
always stays
I
happy.
would kill for that. I mean, in theory, that's what life is all about,
Kobe Valentine
right?
said some horrifying things about me and to me when I started out, and I'm amazed that he was happy while doing that. I'm shocked that was just, I guess, giving him joy, shitting all over me.
Maybe the people who stay happy, who are happy, don't exhibit the traits that you would assume a happy person
look at my
would
man
exhibit.
Kingu about business, man. Kingu, what a guy. Says, Jimmy, today you will have a winning day. You're wearing yellow. Today you will shine bright like the sun, my brother, and come out of this minor slump. Thank you for calling it a minor slump with Pete and the help of this great chat. Kingu about business. Thank you for saying that. It means the world to me.
I mean, that's the interesting thing. In theory, because I have thought about this a lot. In theory, because we know that intellectually, it's the wisest thing is to be happy no matter what your life conditions are, right? That you should see life as a gift, and that no matter what your life conditions are, you should be happy. We know that intellectually. Of course, putting that into practice is almost impossible. But in theory, the wisest monk in the world would be happy, even if he was like in a dungeon being tortured. Just for being alive, he would be happy.
Yeah,
in theory,
I can understand that, and generally, I'm a happy person,
right?
And I'm thankful for getting the opportunity to do what I'm doing. I just have, because not only does it affect our show, and I'm just, losing, but it also affects my bank account, which affects my life, and then not only that, if I was doing this behind closed doors. Then I can wallow in self-pity, right? Yes. But doing it here publicly, it's tough, man. It's tough losing.
I totally get it. All right, just some other comments coming in that I do want to identify. Gerald Martinez says, Brisbane Pete and people were saying you should just stick to a few sports. You can cap anything. Yes, and they didn't cover the spread. They took them on the money line, not -2.5. So anyone who took -2.5 lost, and I'm sorry about that. But I took them on the money line. That was another winner. I'm now 16-9 in my other categories, up about 7.5 units. Thanks for noticing, Gerald Martinez. Yes, I did. I've been capping rugby. Rugby's a great sport. I love it, and there's a lot of similar handicapping factors to American football. Shout out to Gerald Martinez. Everything. Wow, a lot of people. Marco Lou says everything that could have gone wrong yesterday did. Today hopefully is better. Danksy says huge shout out to Mally Mal for under and the White Sox, Angels, and Ralph Portuano for suggesting A's money line and not the run line.
I'm sure he means over.
Okay, right, because that one went over. Yes.
Yes, because I remember that very clearly.
Definitely. All right, so other comments are coming in, and we will get into our handicapping. Vitalis says, let's go to capping, because some of these motherfuckers in here on suicide watch today. Latte says, I had a losing day today. Let's see. Alonzo Scotty Rock Forever says, people do love drama. Godmother 87.
Oh, Godmother's here.
Hey, can I please get your favorite pick in the Cubs versus Arizona game? Yes, we can get that pick. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm not going to overthink this. Obviously, the Cubs are injured, right? They have injuries. Obviously, Chatwood is what he is, right? He gives up a lot of walks. Yes, we can get into MLB. We can get into MLB right now. I bet this one when it came out. I took Arizona, and I took the Arizona first 5 innings team total over. I don't know exactly why those would be anything other than no-brainer, low-hanging fruit plays. I would expect Arizona to be a bigger favorite here, but they're not. But I'm going to take them, and I'm going to start off with those plays. Shout out to Godmother 87 for getting us started into the handicapping.
Well, before I started, show this. Show me. I want to see. I'm not hiding from this record.
Anyone who requests a record to be shown, there you go. Jimmy the Bag. It's a little bit tough to look at. On the other hand, people might not remember this, but it is true. Jimmy, we do futures here. Jimmy the Bag does have A's 50-1 to win the is it the American League or it's
the AL West?
50-1 to win the AL West, and he has to win the American League 100-1. So you'll make that all up if the A's and more.
Yeah, but that's the last thing it's nice to know that is existing, but the last thing I'm going to sit back and go, don't worry, the A's are going to take care of my record. But thank you for mentioning it.
Okay, yes, that's right. Early on, Jimmy the Bag did throw on 2 futures plays. Well, he threw on about 6 futures plays. A bunch of them were not that big underdogs, but he threw on 2 plays with Oakland to win the AL West 50-1 and to win the American League at 100-1, and I think he has a shot with those.
Yeah, right. And I also don't want to sit here and go, oh God, I'm fucking brilliant. 2 guys, two great cappers. Nostra Toda was heavy on the A's. My man Joey Ruiz believed in the A's, and Joey Ruiz believed in the A's right at the beginning of the season, and he hasn't got the deserved shout outs that he does deserve for believing in that team. It was
huge shout out to Joey Ruiz, guy who also handicaps. That's the guy. That Joey Ruiz. That's the guy who also handicaps Philippine basketball. Agreed with my play on the Lasto Painters when I gave that one out and said take them on the money line. All right, I'm going to take Arizona first 5 innings, team total over. That's going to be 2 minus 138. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Got to be thinking that Arizona, full game, second half, -1, first half, money line, all that are probably plays with value.
And that's what Native Queen's on. Arizona score first 5 team total over, Arizona first 5.
All that stuff. To score first is probably a great play. Let me see what the Arizona to score first. All right, -154, probably some value there. Jimmy the Bag, you want to take any plays here before I decide how many tuples I want to do here? Quintuple, triple, quadruple. Thinking about how strong I want to go here on Arizona, because it's just that's the only thing that concerns me. Jatwood obviously has issues. The Cubs obviously have injuries. So why would Arizona not be a bigger favorite here? And the line has moved in their favor, about 10 cents. But not as I would have expected, maybe in the -120s or so.
I'm not taking the Diamondbacks here. I'm staying off the game. Chatwood's coming off one of his best starts of the season. There's no way that Madden wouldn't have sent him down to the minors or something if he saw a legitimate flaw. Now, I know if we look at his numbers, 78 strikeouts, 79 walks, that's awful. That's Giolito territory.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he's coming off a start and a great start, and he knows that Bryant was just put on the DL. I think that Baez is supposed to be back. He knows what's going on. I believe he's supposed to be back. He said he told Madden he was ready to go yesterday. Madden only pinch hit him. So I just feel like this Cubs team has a lot of character, and they know what they're facing. They know that they're about to lose a series at home. They know they're dealing with injuries. Cash Action Bet says Godley is not your road pitcher. I just don't feel like this is an absolute
no-brainer.
Yeah, I don't. And also, but I'm not seeing things clearly. I've had just a god-awful few days.
Your opinions are valuable.
I'm staying off of it. Oh, and Gerald Martinez saying Baez is not in the lineup. That is great news.
Baez is not in lineup.
That's great news.
Right. Chris Garza also says the Bag break meltdown would be great. Let's see other comments coming on. Let me see other comments coming on. Kobe Valentine says looks like a dog day. Let me see other comments coming in. The chat. Joe Anisic says the chat won't let me post the website address for others to vote. Is that true? You can't post website. I guess that might be
on
a YouTube
this chat.
thing. Yeah, I guess is that a YouTube?
Oh, that
thing?
must be new because we were chatting or sharing links to IFBC back in there. I don't know.
Really?
But that and ECs must know that. But thank you for trying. It means a lot to us.
Yes, huge shout out. All right, other comments.
Because we only have 24 more hours, right? Is that right? There's only 24 more hours?
It's 20. The Fridays was the last day.
Friday's the last day. Okay, so we should probably send a tweet out.
Yeah, or maybe Friday or Saturday, 27th or 28th. Yeah. So let's see. All right.
Nutflush 16. He was the guy who you gave his daughter that great advice.
Yes,
great
that's
advice.
right.
Says back from a 12-day vacation. Life is not the same without the
hell
Low Bag
yeah.
Show. Jimmy and Pete make my life a much better place. Jimmy, let's start a fresh day and a fresh winning streak. Much love.
How is that possible? But I believe it. Nutflush 16. Huge shout out. Thank you so much. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to make it through life day in and day out, month in and month out. Huge shout out to Nutflush 16. Back from a 12-day vacation. Life is not the same without the Low Bag Show. Huge shout out to Nutflush 16. All right, Nutflush 16. I have given Arizona first 5 innings team total over 2. That was just a no-brainer play that I had to give. As far as other plays, definitely leaning Arizona -1. Definitely leaning Arizona first 5 innings. Definitely leaning first 5 innings over as well. The full game over is 9. The first 5 is 5. Godley might be okay here. Maybe I'll just stick with the Arizona first 5 team total over 2. Although, what can I say? Leaning Arizona first 5. Leaning Arizona is even second half. Even on the second half, I am leaning Arizona. And wow, the full game line is a lot better for the Cubs than the first half line. Arizona is actually a -120 favorite on the first half, although UWager has -115. But people don't like Godley here. Is that what people are saying? Is that what people are saying?
They don't trust him on the road. I mean, Godley has not looked good this year.
Yes.
4.65 ERA, 1.54 WHIP. He has started to look a little better, maybe. No decision against the Rockies, allowed 3 earned runs, struck out 6 over 5 innings. He just hasn't looked nearly as strong, and that's because everybody can now see when that curveball is coming. And it's that slow curveball. We saw Stripling improve when he sped up his curveball. When Godley comes at you with that after, because he throws with some heat, and then he's got this slow hanging curveball. They can notice it, and they just don't swing.
You see, there you go, Jimmy the Bag. And Tom Marino sort of backing that up. He says the teams that have hit Godley saw him recently. Godley's pitching well. I think there is some value on Arizona first 5. Arizona's bullpen keeps struggling. Shout out to Tom Marino, Tomar, for all those helpful comments here. here. I'm just looking for some other comments here. Joe Vasconcelos says, guys, how about Minnesota today? That is definitely an interesting game. They're going into Boston. We will talk about that. And here you go. Cove Corleone, look at that. What's up, Jimmy? I told you all before, Cubs play shitty in day games. Okay, Cove Corleone.
He has told us that before.
Yes, letting us know that the Cubs play shitty in day games. Kobe Valentine, last 7 games, Dogs ATS run line are hitting at 66%. Faves straight up are hitting at about 50%. Take that as you want.
And look at Melee Payless Way, Godly 1-3 with a 10 ERA in 4 day games, and the wind's blowing out. Maybe the over is just is the play that should be made. But can you trust this Cubs offense right now without Baez and Bryant to deliver some runs?
Wait, who's been getting out of jams? Chatwood. Oh no, Godly.
No, Godley's been terrible in the day as well. Just terrible in the day, and the wind is blowing out.
And Payless Way says, Chatwood's home games averaging 10-plus runs. I'm on the over.
Dylan Sem is saying this isn't a normal Cubs lineup today, boys. Yeah, it's I don't know if you can trust them to produce.
Trevor Andrews also says Cubs struggle in lunchtime games. Arizona always undervalued on the road. Bryant Baez injuries crucial. Great comments from the comment section. Huge shout. The comment section makes me happy. Let me see. Bookie Bird says I trust Godley more than Chatwood. Let me see. All right. So Ulysses says Cubs 15 and 19 in day games. All right. So. I guess that's about it. Let me see. Get the, hold on a second. Yes, Mr. Goetzer, Godley's been awful during the day. Also has a 476 OBP. All right, so I've taken one play that I think is a no-brainer play. Maybe I should just stick with that. Jimmy the Bag, maybe a shot with the first 5 over. You know what? We can come back to this game. We probably won't, but we'll come back to it. I've just given one play, no-brainer play. Arizona first 5 innings, team total over. And you want to tail me on that or not?
I'm not making a play on this game.
Okay.
I'm shaky.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's move on to the rest of the card. Some interesting stuff here. I don't even know where to start exactly. Let me just pick out a game that is. Well, let's start with the Yankees game, right? A massive favorite, but this might be one. I mean, obviously Casey is terrible. The Yankees are so much better in all ways. I'm thinking the Yankees -1 might be worth a shot. I also hit the under 9.5 on the overnight line, and I'm scared to look now because I think it's now 9, and I think I'm gonna have to give it at 9 if I give it. But I did bet it on the overnight line at 9.5, and let me see where that line is now. The Yankees game. Oh no, wow, it's still 9.5, and not even very juiced. All right, I took shots on the overnight lines with the under 9.5 and the Yankees -1 at the huge favorite line. Junis, obviously, we remember when he first came up, we were like, who is this guy? This can't last forever, and it sure didn't, Jim. It sure didn't, Jim.
It fell apart.
Then he had a back issue, right? Came back in his last start and was okay. So maybe Junis is one of these guys who anytime he comes back, his first few starts are surprisingly great, and then he falls apart for one reason or another. So I'm on the under. Sonny Gray is no great shakes, but might be able to hold down Casey here. Again, shot with the under, shot with the Yankees -1. What do you think?
Well, Cash Action Bets is on Royals first 5, and I know that my man Nostratoda
is on the Royals.
Wow. And it gives me pause and makes me want to focus more. I need to study more Jacob Junis, and I will do that this afternoon. Game time, 83 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out to left field but sideways and not very strong. Royals are 6-5 in their last 11. They're playing pretty well.
Sure, yes.
Yankees 10-9 in their last 19, just 14-14 in their last 28. New York just got through a 3-game series in Tampa without hitting a homer. They're even though Sanchez was batting 192, they're not as good with Romine in the lineup. Romine had the day off yesterday, so he should be good to go today. Junis 5-10, 5.03 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, threw 105 and 2/3, 98 Ks, 30 walk. 0-7 with a 6.75 ERA in his last 9 starts. 1-1 with a 6.55 ERA in 2 starts against the Yankees. Gray though pitches okay against bad teams.
He does.
He pitches okay against bad teams. 6-2 with a 4.30 ERA in 13 starts against teams under 500, and he's looking to win 3 straight starts for the 6th time in his career, first time as a Yankee.
All right, well, I'm going to take the under here, 9.5 -109. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I've left a few units on the table, not a ton, but a few units on the table, not taking my my leans on totals like these, Jim. You know what I'm talking about, right? I had that in that Detroit game where it was under 10. So I'm going to take a shot with the under 9.5, -109. Gray against Junis. Obviously, Gray is a little bit iffy. Junis a little bit iffy. Casey bullpen a little bit iffy. You know what I'm saying? There's iffiness all around here, but I'm going to take a shot with the under 9.5 -109. I don't like the fact that Nostratoda is leaning KC because I was thinking about just trying to sneak in a cheap unit here by throwing on the Yankees -1, which would be, -210 or something like that, but thinking about doing it anyway.
Yeah,
Nostra
well,
Tota
Alonso
doesn't like-
Shivers is on Yankees run line and the over. And then Cole Corleone, I like the Royals. Don't be scared, Pete. Worth a shot at plus 230. Kobe Valentine, I will not back Gray or Tropiano at these prices ever.
Okay.
Kobe Valentine, I think value is on KC. Junis pitched well versus, I think he means versus. I guess he's meaning Gray versus Kansas City, sorry. And Chicago White Sox for a nice dog line. Robert Bertone, I like Royals. Gray's a bum. Not applicable. Junis is a Judas. Tomor, Junis has been much better at home. These mediocre pitchers always get hammered in inning 1 at New York. Torres is back, and that's big for them.
Yeah. I'm definitely concerned. Tom Marino says Junis has been much. Yeah, did you read the Tomer comment? These mediocre pitchers almost always get hammered 1 inning at New York. Torres back is big for them. So yeah, I mean, I could just take the Yankees -1 and the under here, and then if Junis does get hammered, at least I'll roughly break even with the Yankees likely to cash. But who said don't be scared? Who said don't be scared?
My man Cole Corleone.
Cole Corleone says, Pete, don't be scared. Take KC. Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Plus
Wow.
230, worth a shot. I'm getting different information, different guidance from our chatters. Native Queen saying might need to clean your aura with a spiritual bath and burn some candles. I've done that 0 times in my life, but not applicable. Jimmy, light your farts. Gets rid of bad karma. Which one do you think I should move towards? Do you think?
My advice would be look inside of Jimmy the Bag and find the truth of which comment is more appropriate for you from yourself. Only Jimmy the Bag can answer that question. Jimmy the Bag, I don't know. Wow, that is the awesome comments from both Native Queen and not applicable. Huge shout out to Native Queen. All right, Kobe Valentine does liking the under though. He says this KC Yanks game I feel will end in like a 4-3 game for KC or Yankees. Should be a nice competitive game and the Yanks will be sitting some players. All right, yes, the Tomarino says the lineup is built for Yankee Stadium. All right, I'm just gonna stick with SM says Yanks second half -185, pricey but will hit. Yeah, I mean the KC bullpen is just so bad. I don't know if I can take him here though at that line. So I'm just gonna stick with the under, and I will leave it at that. Cash Action Bets likes Royals first 5. I'm just gonna stick with the under, and I will stick it right there. Yeah, Tomarino says Casey has no bullpen. The Yankees will likely get their 1-4 to 5 run inning. Yeah, I mean I'm thinking that the Yankees -1 is still a bet here. Yankees offense and bullpen can bail Sonny Gray out if he struggles. Casey has no bullpen. All right, I guess that's about it. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking about taking a shot with the Yankees -1 though. That's definitely a lean. It is Bartolo Colon Day. Let's move on to that. How about that? Jimmy the Bag, Bartolo Colon Day. The Oakland Texas game, crazy game yesterday. You know, overall, I had a loser with Oakland first 5 innings, team total over, and I just lost in the first 5 over as well. But then I cashed with Oakland on the second half. And the question is, will Colon get hit here? Will Cahill get hit here? I'm thinking sure, why not? Fade Bartolo Colon, even though the first 5 innings is 3. What do you think?
I don't know if I'm just that quick to
Colon is not that awful.
He has not looked good in his last 3 starts, but he's looked good against these A's. He's pitched everybody tough except for Chris Davis, who's smashing everybody right now. And I know people who, speaking of Greg Cavers and Nostra Tota, who believes in this Rangers squad today. Game time temp 100 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in softly. Davis, as I said, 6 home runs in his last 4 games. He hit one the last time he faced Cologne. Cahill 1-2, 2.95 ERA, 1.02 WHIP. He's looked better than I expected him to. And Cologne has lost his last 3 starts. He got beaten up in his last one in 4 2/3 against a tough Cleveland squad. Cologne has pitched well against his former team. They're almost all his former team. He allowed 1 run in 6 innings, opening week of the season, and then held them to 2 runs in 5 innings in June. He's gone 10-6 with 3.34 ERA against them. Those numbers the A's have against righties are skyrocketing. 248, 749 OPS now. And Rangers can hit righties fine. 238, 719 OPS. You know what? I don't know what to do with this, and I'm going to spend the day on it. Cash Action Bets. Here's it again. Texas Rangers. Ulysses Hayes says Oakland will sweep today.
And Scotty Rock forever. If you don't bet on Oakland today, you just love losing money. I'm just thinking about, the old Bartolo Colon first 5 innings team total over fade. Is Colon, Colon, has proven himself to be not, he's a subpar pitcher, but not an automatic guy who gets shelled every time out.
Well, Cash Action Bet says something interesting here.
What's that?
And I guess if you're backing the Rangers, you should put it in now. It says, I say Davis will sit. he's such an. We saw what happened when he was out of the lineup. They lost a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Alonzo Shivers, A's moneyline full game under. Scotty Rock, do not bet on the Rangers. Not applicable says Oakland smokes the Rangers today. Not applicable early date for Cologne. Yeah, it's
All right, this again, of course we do this twice every day. We're gonna be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. And also the news is that we're gonna do MMA with Bill Buttlicker. And is Andy Morak gonna be in as well?
Andy
Or he couldn't
Morak,
make it, couldn't make it.
He's working.
Yeah.
He's trying to pull some strings to figure out how he can do it. It doesn't look good.
All right, okay, but we are gonna do an MMA segment with Bill Buttlicker, and we will review that in the afternoon show. Of course, most important things, we'll review all these night games. I guess I will. I guess I'll hold off for now on a Bartolo Colon fade because I will be able to make that decision later on. But I'm going to go once again, the old Oakland second half play, minus 135. You know, cash free yesterday, even though I had a bad read on that game. I'm going to take Oakland again here, minus 135. Who knows who's going to be in the lineup? Who knows how Cologne's going to do? But I'm going to take that one, Oakland minus 135. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Let's see. Let's move on. What else is interesting? Let's talk about the Dodgers. Hill against Sanchez. Now, Sanchez has been very impressive. I'm thinking this is a spot where the Dodgers do roll. I'm liking the Dodgers here, minus 1, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 other different ways. What do you think? Dodgers, Hill. Hill been pitching okay since the blister, right? Not bad.
Yeah,
right?
no, he's been pitching really well.
Yeah.
That's not my concern. I think Rich Hill will pitch fine with Ozzie Albies back in the lineup, and this Braves team is now number 1 in the league against lefties, 275 with an 806 OPS, and Sanchez just continues to surprise us. He continues to pitch well.
One thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you caught this yet, but last night, the Oakland A's game, everyone was talking about that. I caught this tweet from Native Queen. When Oakland was down, she took Oakland plus 2.5, plus 189, and money line plus 292.
Wow.
Plus 2.5, plus 189. Unreal.
Well,
that's live betting, of course.
Yes. Well, so did the guys from the Money Gang. Scotty Rock took them at the same type of deal. He got like a plus 290. But Ant L, who's another great baseball capper, he took him right at 6-1.
Wow.
Took him at and got like plus 612. And now he's hit back-to-back days. And I believe even Rock both back-to-back days in playing the A's when they're down big. Very, very impressive
Very,
stuff.
very nice. Shout out to Native Queen and everyone in Money Gang who might have done that as well. Let's see. Brian Watson says loves Pirates too. I'm thinking again Dodgers. I'm thinking Dodgers. Let's see if there's any comments coming in here on the Dodgers. Obviously,
always had the Braves number. 4-0, 2.04 ERA. I can understand the play. I can understand the play, but Sanchez has just been so tricky this year. 1-1, 3.24 ERA in 6 career starts against the Dodgers. They speak so highly of him.
He's good.
They made the McCarthy trade to have a veteran in that rotation, and it's not McCarthy who's been the important veteran. It turns out that it's been Anibal Sanchez, which is so surprising.
Very impressive. No, give Anibal Sanchez all due respect, but I'm going to take a shot here with the Dodgers minus 1. I'm also going to take the Dodgers on the second half as well. Minus 1, the best money line will be minus 112, and the best run line here will be plus 140 at Intertops and Bet365 and a few other places. So I'm taking a shot with the Dodgers minus 1, and I'm also going to take a shot with the Dodgers on the second half, which will be minus 125. So I'm taking the Dodgers second half minus 125. Dodgers minus 1. Huge respect to Anibal Sanchez, but I just feel like this is a good spot for the Dodgers, and that's it for that game, Jim.
Well, just some notes moving into our afternoon study. Tomor says I'd lean Atlanta. Hill's been better on the road. Atlanta hits lefty. Sanchez keeps pitching well. Atlanta comes in rested, and this is the big point. Dodgers lineup without Turner isn't great. Now Machado certainly helps.
Yeah.
But that's a big hole in that lineup. Mali Mal says Dodgers being led by Muncy and Kemp, though. Tomo, what are you talking about? So Mali Mal still thinks that offense is good, and I'm going to hammer this in the afternoon. Melee Pettis Way says under LA Atlanta full game, and then Ulysses Hayes is on the Dodgers money line with you.
All right, yeah. Let me just review all these picks. I want to think it through here. Yellow Jesus, Dodgers might be tired after that Phillies series. They might. Let me see. Tom Marino, I'd lean Atlanta. There you go. Hill's been better on the road, and Atlanta hits lefties. Sanchez keeps pitching well. Atlanta comes in rested. The Dodgers without Turner isn't great. Nolly knows says Sanchez gets touched today. Ski Prophet says, what about the over in the Dodgers game? I'm going to hold off on that one.
Trevor Andrews, nice play maybe here. It might be in the really nice play. No runs first inning. Rich Hill, excellent in first inning.
Who said that?
Trevor Andrews, a Toronto guy. Great.
Shout out to
great
Trevor
guy.
Andrews. Rich Hill, excellent first innings. No run in first innings for the Braves game. That might be a great call. Yeah, he's saying their lineup isn't, and a lot of people saying without Turner, it's clearly a worse lineup. Joe Anishik likes Dodgers money line though.
Yeah, and it's Anisi. He
Anisi.
helped us with.
Anisi,
we were
okay.
pronouncing it wrong together,
Okay.
both of us. Dave LA says Braves first 5 or team total over is money. Fade Braves bullpen
Yes.
second half or live is money. That's very sharp. Dave LA, another really sharp capper.
Shout out to Dave LA. Yes, let me see. Kobe Valentine, Atlanta, one of the best underdog teams. So maybe betting on the Dodgers here if they get down will be another money play there for a lot of people to keep in mind. SM liking these race to 3 bets, which is another interesting way. First team to 3.
Yeah.
SM likes the Yankees first to 3, and I think he said minus 155 or 120 or something like that. And SM likes the Dodgers win the race to 3 against Sanchez. And batting first, they should get to 3 before Atlanta at minus 30. Great call there from SM. Liking these first to 3 bets that you can definitely make. This is a tough one. Andy Blue, guy who knows the Mets. I think he's the guy who has the Mets tattoo on his arm. Says, look at the Mets record at PNC Park last couple years. A house of horrors for them. You want to get to that one?
I really do. I really find that an interesting matchup. And but another thing Andy Blue 2525 said was don't fade. I don't know if I'm quoting it because I don't have it in front of me, but don't fade the Braves scrappy bunch.
They are scrappy. They are scrappy.
And they're much better with Albies in the lineup. He's hitting 385 since June 17th.
I might have made a mistake here.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I just, not necessarily. Just reading all. Red Girls joined us is perfect. Okay, let's get to this Mets spot here. My initial feeling was Mats has not looked good in his last few starts. Kingham has looked very good, and I was going to take the Pirates. And I understand where Andy Blue 25 is coming from. He has a great read on this Mets team. He's hit 6 out of his last 7 plays with them, on them, or against them, or just with them involved. But I know a bunch of guys who are on the Mets, and some of them have already come up talking about it so far. And another guy I know that's on the Mets is the great Noah Toda, and that scares me because I was about to come in here and give the Pirates even on the run line because Mats just does not look very good right now. He's lost 3 starts in a row. Saturday, he gave up 5 runs, 9 hits in 5 innings. He could explain why he was pitching poorly. Kingham is pitching well. 3 straight wins. He's allowed 6 runs in his last 18 2/3. That's 17 strikeouts. Mets don't hit righties. Pirates have an okay average against lefties, but their OPS isn't as good. Now, I guess part of the reason why people don't want to back these Pirates is they're dealing with injuries. Do we know, is Dickerson going to be available? Is Marte going to be available? I bet you Dickerson won't be, and Marte may not be. Twadi Latte says, I have no call on the Pirates. I'm way too hungover to think about it. But Scotty Rock says, first 5 Pirates. Nolly No says, Mets Pirates under. Not applicable says, Pirates get back on the train. Ulysses Hayes says, Pittsburgh 2-5 in Thursday games. Mets 1-5 in Thursday games. Mitchell Chagas on Mets plus 1.5. Gogster on Pirates score first.
I was
And Dickerson
Mets
is
here
out.
as well.
Tomor's saying that Dickerson is out. Out yesterday. Sorry. So we don't know if he's out today. Sorry at this point. Sorry. What were you saying?
I was leaning Mets as well, but I'm not sure if I was gonna take them on the -1 line or the +1 line. I was thinking about the -1 line because I was thinking that I was also leaning over as well. Although that might be a false thing to do here. The Mets do have bullpen issues, so they could easily lose this one.
Very ugly bullpen. Samuel Martin coming in saying fade teams after first loss following a big win streak.
And that would be who? That would be
the Pittsburgh Pirates who just won 11 straight and then lost to Cleveland 4-0 when they ran into the Trevor Bauer machine. Now, there are also thunderstorms forecast for the latter part of the game, so if it doesn't move quickly, there will be stoppages or it could end early.
All right, I'm going to take a shot with Mets +1. I'm going to take a shot with the Mets +1 line here. The money line is +140, and the +1.5 line. So there you go, +140. The +1.5 line for the Mets will be best line minus where are we? 160.
Wow.
160.
Very interesting stuff here. Native Queen leaning to New York Mets first 5. Andy Blue, Mats being garbage. They can't get a win in PNC Park. Don't know why. Playing with a minor league lineup. Phillip Evans, McNeil. This game is a steal at -147. Just hail me and we'll talk tomorrow. Wow. Tomore says this line looks inflated. I'd lean Mets if Dickerson is out. I don't want the Mets bullpen though.
Yeah.
Mally Mal, Mets won their last six wins versus righties.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking a shot with the Mets here. +1, the money line +140. What happened?
And America's come in.
Oh, shit.
Got my Skype working on my phone.
Very nice.
Count me in on the
Oh,
MMA
that's
show.
great. That's great. All right,
Nice.
so Ann Americ will be there. It'll be
Beautiful.
a threesome. Ann Americ, Bill Butler, and myself covering UFC on
That's
Fox
great.
30.
I'm so
coming up.
excited
Yes.
that we're involving those
and
guys.
the
That's
three great fights. It's Joanna Jędrzejczyk's next fight,
Oh,
and
yeah.
also Jose Aldo, right? And he might retire after this one, so it's definitely an interesting card that we're going to get to. I've taken the Mets +1 here. Yeah, I don't like their bullpen, so if their bullpen blows it late and they lose by 1, I will get a push on that one. All right, and of course Andy Blue liking Pittsburgh. I'm gonna write that one down and thinking Andy Blue, of course, follows the Mets very, very carefully. Andy Blue liking Pittsburgh.
Oh no, Andy Blue's laid down the gauntlet.
He has. What has he said? What has he said?
Last time you went against me, Pete.
I know.
You
No,
got your
I
ass
did.
handed to you.
Look, I have not seen anyone. The two guys who have just reads that have blown me away. Andy Blue with Mets games. Twate Latte with Pirates games. Yes.
And Twatty got home from the casino at 8 a.m. Thinks he may have a gambling problem.
Wow. At 8 a.m. Wow. All right. So let me see. Mally Mal says Pirates train us over. Oosh.
Khalif Lee's with you. This is a tricky spot. Nolly No says Mets looks like the side, so that means under for me. Mets have no bats.
Trevor Andrews says no Marte equals no Pirates. Dory Dickerson questionable. Big lean to the Mets. Lineups are equal with those two injuries. Kingham is not a 150 pitcher.
I like having Trevor Andrews in the group. Thank you for joining us, man. He's great.
Yes. Huge shout out to Trevor Andrews.
Walter Trotter says great things are happening.
Thank you so much, Walter Trotter the
I love
third.
Walter Trotter. I can't wait to hang.
the third.
Walter Trotter and Big Boss are going to be at the IFBC.
Yes.
I can't wait to hang
Mr.
with them.
Gokster at 99 says Mets will not hit Kingham. All right, a very interesting game here. A lot of back and forths here.
Well, if the Mets don't hit Kingham, and I guess Mats is the issue, but I mean, if the Mets don't hit Kingham and Dickerson and Starling Marte are out of the lineup, doesn't that just scream under? What's the total?
It's 8.
Doesn't that just scream under? Now the question
and
is,
8.5. It's getting bet up though. I was leaning over, and it's getting bet up.
okay, yeah, I won't make that move yet.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, but anyway, so once again, here are the picks that I've given so far officially. LA Dodgers second half and LA Dodgers -1. Took some blowback for that one. Arizona first 5 team total over 2. Oakland second half. Mets +1. Took some blowback from that one, particularly from Andy Blue, who's a guy I don't like to be on the opposite side of when it comes to Mets games. And the Yanks game under 9.5, -109. All right, what else do we have here, Jim? Funny shit? Oh, no.
No, let's just keep rolling.
All right, let's just keep rolling. Funny shit, huh?
Yeah, but let's just keep rolling there. So I have not made a play here, and I would like to make a play, and I'm going to make a play here. Now, I can understand people thinking that the Phillies may be tired after that Dodgers series. I'm excited about this lefty Suarez. He's the reason why he was what Baltimore was demanding in the Machado deal.
Yes.
Molly has not looked good in his last 2 starts. Game time 85 Fahrenheit. Wind blowing out to left center, 10 miles per hour. Do I have a vividness or a recency bias of these first-time starters making their MLB debut and shining, especially with the Reds being involved, because we've seen
No,
a couple
I don't
of
think
them.
so. I think that's been the case for quite some time. In the meantime, though, look at that. The line has moved about 15 cents or so in Cincinnati's favor, which is definitely noteworthy, definitely interesting.
Adam Lopez says, you guys never hit on Tampa Bay, Baltimore. We certainly will. Don't worry. Mr. Gokster says, Phillies is my play today. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that is that's the line move.
Yeah, I would have been leaning Philly as well. And maybe it will move back the other way.
Wow. Rob Portwando says Phillies all day. Kobe says can't back Molly is a fave. Scotty Rock says I took Phillies last night at +110. And he said, told you all I was going to drop. Wow. Interesting. I didn't. So I like Suarez. His numbers are okay. First off, he made 12 starts in AA, 3 starts in AAA. Overall, really good. 5-3, 2.38 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, and not striking out too many guys, which is another thing I kind of like with these crafty left-handers, not forcing the issue. 66 Ks in 90 2/3. But he's been pitching better and better. 3-1 with a 0.91 ERA in his last 8 starts. So that's 5 starts in AA, and then when he went up to Lehigh Valley in his last 3 starts, 1-0 with a 0.57 ERA. And who do we have with these kind of numbers last? Ponce de Leon had these kind of numbers and came in and showed us exactly why he did it.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to start off just with the Phillies' first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 139. That's the current line at Pinnacle. First 5 innings team total over 2 minus 139. Thinking about taking a shot with Philly here as well on the minus one line. Obviously, with a guy like Suarez, and even with Molly, I would say bet into and even with the Cincinnati lineup.
Sorry, I might have missed it. Did you just a couple things about the offense? Did you just take the Phillies' first 5 over?
Yes.
Okay. Reds have been held to 2 runs or fewer in their last 5 games,
Yes.
and then Molly's allowed 11 earned runs over his last 8 innings, losing both those starts against the Pirates and the Indians. This is a Red team that hits lefties hard, which is the only reason why I'd have some concern. But the Phillies don't hit righties hard, which is concerning. But if this becomes so I know that Nostra is big on the Phillies today, and I was like, why aren't you going on the first 5? And he said that if Suarez gets touched early, which of course is possible, making his first start, that there's such a big bullpen advantage with the Phillies, and that
I was thinking about Philly's second half as well.
Yeah. Wow.
And I will take that one. I'll take Philly's second half minus 125. I'll take that one. Philly's second half minus 125. That's a second play. Thinking about Philly minus 1, and I don't know.
I'm going to take with this line. I think the line's going to come back. I'm gonna go for a score here. I'm gonna take Phillies money line and Phillies run line.
Philly money line and Philly what?
Reverse run line.
So you want 2 plays on this one?
Yes, I do.
On the full game. All right, so Jim's going to take Philly. Money line will be plus 120 at the Greek. Money line plus 120, and the Philly alternative run line minus 1.5, I believe, is plus 215 at Bet365. Let's check. Yes. Oh, no, 210. Plus 210. Philly minus 1.5, plus 210 at Bet365. And the money line is best money line plus 120 at the Greek. I have taken Philly second half minus 125 and Philly first half team total over 2 minus 139. Thinking about taking a shot with Philly minus 1 as well. Interesting line move. Again, this is a 7 o'clock game, so we'll review the line moves, and maybe I'll add on my 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th plays on this game in the evening show. Let's see, what else do we have? Again, the Washington game, Strasburg has been canceled as a starting pitcher, so that game I did not look at with Malone. And then also the Tampa Bay game did not have an overnight line, so I did not look at that one. Other games we haven't gotten to, Milwaukee, San Francisco is interesting. The Minnesota-Boston game with Gibson against Johnson is interesting. And the White Sox against Angels is the only other game that we didn't cover. I guess let's talk about Minnesota-Boston. Someone was asking about that before. Minnesota as a decent dog here. Minnesota's bats have picked up a bit. Gibson and Johnson, both of them, not lights out, but not too terrible. Nice, decent, okay.
Surprisingly, Gibson's had a really nice year.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, also looked very good against the Red Sox, especially his career. 3.06 ERA, 5 career starts, 1.74 ERA in 3 starts at Fenway.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see those numbers. So Betts and Martinez smash him, and no one else can touch him. Holt 1 for 8, Bradley 2 for 12, Moreland 2 for 11. Johnson, though, I still feel like he's susceptible, even though he's looked good. He's 1-1 with a 2.22 ERA in 5 starts this season. Coming off a loss at Detroit, he allowed 5 hits, 2 unearned runs. Twins don't hit lefties hard for an okay average, 246, but 680 OPS. Big Tone says the guy called the Whale has a 5-unit play on Cincinnati.
Wow.
That's not what I want to hear.
Yes, there you go. King Rail likes the Twins today. Let me see other comments on this.
That fire, Boston, Minnesota over 10.
Ralph Portuando likes Budge Kid is the real deal. Giants money line in the under 8. I was thinking that way as well.
I'm thinking that way as well.
I was more leaning under, not necessarily Giants money line, but under and second half under as well.
Yeah.
Let me see other comments coming in. Some funny shit coming in. Let me see other comments. Let's see. Mr. Gokster, Pete, Washington second half. Mr. Gokster, I did not look at that game with the pitching change. I did not have a chance to look at it. I will talk about that one later on. Drew Daddy says, checking in late. Let me know the picks this far. Here you go, Drew Daddy. Jim is on Phillies money line and Philly minus 1.5 at plus 210. I'm on Philly second half. Philly first 5 innings team total over 2. Dodgers minus 1. Dodgers second half. Arizona first 5 innings team total over 2. Yanks game under 9.5. Oakland second half money line and the Mets plus 1. Careful with that one though, going directly against Andy Blue. 25-25 was a great read on the Mets. And as far as the game we're talking about right now, the Giants game second half under and full game under are 2 plays that I bet. and that I think I will give here, and I'll give it. Sure, why not? I bet the second half under 3.5 minus 140. Let me just make sure that is still available. Yes, it is. All right, so I'll give that one. SF second half under 3.5 minus 140, under 3.5 minus 140, and also leaning under on the full game as well.
Yes, I like this spot, especially the only guy who smashes Wade Miley. You know what? I just want to. I may make a move on. I feel like we kind of got off that last game quick, and then I'm getting Wolverines has a very important point for us who are taking the Phillies. He's explaining why you would want to take Philly on first five and not in the full game. Dominguez throwing 57 pitches over the last 3 days will be unavailable. Arano and Morgan be working 3 straight days, and then Garcia and Austin Davis working 3 of 4. So he thinks even with the bullpen advantage, this is a very tired group, and it could absolutely be right.
And I just took the Phillies on the second half.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that information. I wasn't quite aware it was that dire. Who said that?
Wolverines, yeah.
Shout out to
important.
Wolverines. Shout out to Wolverines.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So to this Brewers-Giants spot, Brandon Belt suffered a knee injury. He's not going to be in the game, and he smashed Miley. 5 for 10, triple homer. The lefty-on-lefty matchup suits him. Brewers just finished a 3-3 homestand. Giants, until they lost to the A's, they'd won every series or tied at home their last 12. Rodriguez has looked very good. Now, if he has a really strong second half, he'll be in the running for Rookie of the Year. Gone unbeaten his last 6 starts. Most recent 6-inning 1-run effort against the A's, and we know how they're smashing right now. I want unders in this game. I want unders, but do I want to add Giants on it?
Okay. I'm taking the full game under at 8 minus 105 and the second half under 3.5 minus 140. As far as the money line is concerned, Marco Lu, I'm on the Giants at minus 108. Scotty Rock forever. Giants money line. Trust Rodriguez. Tolerino says I think San Francisco has some injuries. Milwaukee's bullpen advantage is big. I was thinking maybe Milwaukee on the second half as well, but I think I'm just going to stick with unders here. Jimmy the Bag, what do you want to do if anything?
And Bookie Bird on Giants minus 1. I'm going to double up on the under here. I'm going to
take Daddy best pick San Francisco Giants money line. Okay.
Oh shit.
And
not flush 16. San Francisco run line seems enticing. I'm going to take the first 5 under and the full game under.
Okay. Jim's taking a full game under. SF under. San Francisco under 8 minus 105, and you want the first half under.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what that would be. San Francisco first 5 innings under with Miley and Rodriguez. We could give you 4.5 minus 127 or 4 plus 100.
Take 4.5.
SF first half under 4.5 minus 127. That's the current line at Pinnacle. First half under 4.5 minus 127. Okay, and I've added full game under and the second half under at 3.5 minus 140. Full game under 8 minus 105. All right. So what else do we want to talk about? Let's get back to the Minnesota. Did we cover the Minnesota Boston game fully? I guess we did. I was leaning Minnesota here. Is that the one? Did we jump off of that one, Minnesota?
I thought we did.
Yeah, we also got it. We want to talk about the White Sox game if you want to, or we can hold off to the.
I just didn't know exactly what I was gonna. I wanted to talk about that game, and did you end up making a play on Twins Red Sox? You said
no.
second half
No, I did not make a play on the Twins Red Sox. Vague lean to Minnesota -1 at a big dog score. That's what I would be leaning here. Other than that, no real strong opinions, or maybe Minnesota on the first half team total over. Let me see what that would be. Minnesota, yeah, it's 2 minus 124. I mean, Johnson's been good, but I'm just not convinced. I'm not sold that he's that good. Feel me?
I don't think Johnson is that good.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I don't. This is probably his last start. I think he's going to go into the bullpen as soon as Eovaldi and I guess Pomerantz is the issue too. But Ulysses Hayes says Minnesota fade him. Gas Station Sushi says Boston game over. Yeah, it's Juicy Toast says don't take Boston here.
Right. I was thinking Minnesota here. All right, I am definitely going to take Minnesota first 5 innings team total over. I'll take that one. Minnesota, I'm liking this one more and more. It's just 2. Minnesota first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 124. Not even a huge line there. Minnesota first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 124. That is that's the line at Pinnacle right now. And I would also be leaning Minnesota full game over at 4.5 plus 101 at Pinnacle as well. Let me just think about this for a second.
I like that. I like your play quite a bit. I'm
Yeah.
going to jump on the Twins first 5-team total over.
And I'm going to take the Minnesota full game team total over 4.5 plus 101. I'd love to be getting 4, but at a fave line. But I'll just take 4.5 plus 101. What do you want, Jim?
I want your first 5-team total
First
over.
5-team total over 2 minus 124. That's the current line at Pinnacle. All right, I'm taking Minnesota two ways on team total overs. Vague lean to Minnesota on the -1 line as well. Wow, plus 260 at Bet365. Man, that might be worth a shot. Man, that could be worth a shot. I mean, Gibson, the Boston smashes righties. We know that. They do, right?
They do. Absolutely. 270 with a 795 OPS versus righties.
All right. I'm going to take a shot with Minnesota -1. I'm going to take a shot with Minnesota -1. Maybe I'll pull that back later on, but I'm going to take it. Let me see. The money line part of this one will be plus 145, and the run line part of that one will be plus 260. That is the current line at Bet365 and the plus 145. All right, so I'm Minnesota three ways here. I would love it if Johnson came in and Minnesota put up a 5 spot in the second inning, something like that.
Yeah.
Feel me?
I do. I feel you.
All right, let's see. And also maybe Minnesota to score first. Let me see what that would be. That probably isn't that bad of a line. Yeah, -134. All right, let's move on, Jim. The only game we didn't cover is the White Sox and Angels.
Oh, did we hit this Rays game?
I don't have anything to say about that one because there was no overnight line. If you want to talk about that, go ahead.
Sure. Which one would you want to
We
start
do want to
with?
get to the CFL game though pretty soon.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. Well, quick. I feel like this is a good spot for Cobb. I've said that too many times this year and being wrong. Baltimore's lost 13 of 18. Rays are looking good. Just took 2 of 3 from the Yankees. Wood has looked good since coming up from AAA. 2.93 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. I mean, this is a very small sample size of 15 and a third. And I think the more tape people get of him, the more he will get touched. I feel like this is a good spot for Cobb. I really do. Hard luck loss. 1 earned run against the Jays, but allowed 4 runs overall just because of shoddy defensive play behind him. Can you trust the Orioles? Does it make any sense to trust the Orioles? I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm going to spend some more time. Cash Action Bets is on the Orioles money line. Ryan Gosling, man, sweet to hear that. He's going to be live PC. Can't wait to hang with you, my man. Yeah, it's and I guess there's not. Ulysses Hayes is on Tampa Bay money line. I'll wait till you've capped that game because we'll be able to hammer. Mr. Gokes are on no score first inning. I'll wait till you've capped that game and then we can hammer that on a late show.
All right, yeah. So just some other comments here. Tom Marino, I'd lean Minnesota, but I think it's tough with Boston rested and angry with the last game. And then Kobe Valentine says, I think the line is fair for Boston here. If it was -180, I wouldn't take Boston, and it's not -180, but it's close. It's it's minus what is the Boston line? Yeah, -155. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm definitely feeling like I like my team total overs with Minnesota a lot more than I'm liking the Minnesota -1 line there. I might have been a little bit hasty throwing that one on there, but I did. I threw it on there, and it is a tough one. In the meantime, Mr. Gokster agreeing with the value there. What else do you have here, Jim?
Yeah, Kingu says, Jimmy, you said if you like Baltimore, you're not betting them anymore, and that might be the best thing to do here. Mally Mal says Orioles don't bet on them, and then Kobe says this is the best spot for Cobb to finally win a game. Tampa Bay sucks away, and just a hard-fought series versus New York.
Yeah.
It might be a great spot for them.
Kobe Valentine says Boston #1 in the league versus righties. I know that, Kobe. That is one comment that Kobe Valentine made that I was very well aware of. Yes, they crush righties, and now I'm fading them against a righty. Tomer says Boston's bullpen isn't as good right now. Kelly's been trash. Johnson is starting.
Yeah, Keith Kaplan says backing O's is burning money.
All right, I might have made the wrong decision here taking Minnesota, but I do think that either which way there's volatility, so I'm glad I took the big underdog line. But I might have a negative EV play there on Minnesota -1. We'll see. I like my team total overs, though, for sure. Let's see. Other comments coming in?
Well, let's hammer this White Sox-Angels game, and then we can move on to the Canadian football.
Yes. Okay, the White Sox game is, let's see, who is it?
I find it very interesting. It's Covey versus Tropiano.
Yeah.
Covey's going back, getting his first start at home. I didn't know, I thought I knew more about Covey. I always thought of Covey as this very high draft pick, but I guess they found out after he got drafted that he had diabetes. Not only that, his hemoglobin, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yes.
Hemoglobin was so low that if he hadn't have checked it out, he would have been dead in a month.
Wow.
So then he decided to not take the $1.6 million. He decided to go back to see, I believe it's San Diego State or something like that. Went back to school, got his health together, and then was a 4th round pick later. So it cost him huge financially. Now here he is. I believe he's 27 years old.
Wow, what a story. I actually didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
Wow.
And so now he's 27 years old. I believe he started the year at 26. I think he's 27 now. And now he's pitching in his right near where he grew up. Where is that? I should have that here somewhere.
Yeah, this is look, I took a big loss with White Sox second half yesterday, at a big dog line. I'm thinking the same thing here. I'm thinking just the Angels are just not this good. The market is overvaluing them, maybe just because of Trout, but I'm thinking the White Sox value again, White Sox second half value again. Covey, of course, off a great start. What are we going to get from him here? I'm thinking, before that one start, he was getting hit. Tropiano had control issues in his last start, and I'm just not seeing. I mean, in baseball, you got to see something solid when you're gonna take a -180 favorite. I'm just not really seeing it here with the Angels. All due respect to Mike Trout, I'm just not seeing it.
Ohtani, I guess last night was the first time Ohtani, Pujols, and Trout have hit a home run in the same game.
Okay, all due respect to Ohtani, Pujols, and Trout.
Well, I think
just not seeing
Pujols is just an old man.
I'm just not sure I'm seeing it.
I get it, but Ohtani did look very, very tough last night at bat. And Tropiano should not be this big of a favorite. Second start since missing 6 weeks with inflammation in his throwing shoulder. He allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings Saturday against the Astros in that 7-0 loss. White Sox 242, 699 OPS versus righties. Angels 244, 733 OPS versus righties. The Angels hit righties. It's lefties that they can't hit.
And there you go. Tom Reno says Covey's horrible against lefties. This should be a good matchup for him. Angels really don't have any strong lefty bats.
Interesting.
Tomer says White Sox bullpen is garbage. I'd lean White Sox first 5.
Yeah, Kobe's saying I can imagine LA partied or celebrated last night for Pujols passing Griffey on the all-time home run list.
That's another thing former athletes know about is when athletes are more and less likely to party or to be focused.
That's
what I'm saying?
I didn't think.
And he made that comment about Matt Harvey. He's like, listen, I know when Matt Harvey is partying and when he's not partying. And Kobe Valentine has handicapped the party situation for the Angels as very likely last night.
Interesting.
Wow.
Gokster says Tropiano better with day games. 292 on base and 1.14 whip.
Mr. Gokster says, I love this spot from when Cubby is in for a bath.
You know what? I don't know. See, one of the problems is when you read these stories about guys and then you start feeling any kind of emotion for the actual character, who they are, what they've gone through, it can actually get in the way of your capping. And I don't want that story.
But on the other hand, you can think of it this way. All these major league pitchers, I believe this is true, right? If you make it to the majors, even for just one day, I think you get a pension for life, right?
Oh, I'm not worried about him.
So don't
I'm not
you know
worried about him. No, I'm not worried, but I might like him.
Right.
I'm not worried.
These
about
guys
him.
are going to be fine, Jimmy the Bag.
Not worried about it. Paco Healy says that's correct, Jim. Hemoglobin is I can't believe I remember hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a big deal. It's in your blood and transports O2 to organs and tissues.
It's in you. We got hemoglobin in our blood, Jim?
You got hemoglobin
Holy shit.
deep down in there, man.
I didn't know that. Anyway, so my point is, look, Covey, it's a great story. If he gets crushed here and is out of the majors in a few days, he's still going to be fine in life. So don't worry about him, Jim. You know
I'm not worrying about him. It's just that if you start liking somebody's story, that can get in the way of what's of your capping. So here, Covey, after the story now, he's from Glendale, California. He's getting his first start. And this isn't a 21-year-old kid. This is a 27-year-old kid who also said no to $1.6 million. I mean, that takes a lot of balls and a lot of belief in yourself. And then when he goes back in the draft, he doesn't get picked to the 4th round. I think that he could have a great start here.
Yeah, actually, and Kobe Valentine says pro sports pensions are ridiculous. Should never go broke with those pensions. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's fine.
I'm not worried about it.
I hope Covey does get hit. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking jealous of his pension. Fuck Covey. No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. No, I love those. The point is that they'll be fine. They'll be fine. All right. So what do we want to do here? We are procrastinating because we don't know.
I think fine.
Right,
we can come back.
I think the value's with the White Sox.
I agree.
Let me see what the first 5 innings would be here. I don't like Tropiano. Right now. And let me see. Maybe even the first 5 innings team total over with wow, 2 minus 102. What's the deal with Tropiano? I'm not too high on him right now.
No, I don't know if there's a reason to be high on him. 4.58 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. This will be his second start after the inflammation in his shoulder that he was out for 6 weeks.
All right, I'm going to take the White Sox. First 5 innings, team total over 2, just minus 102. First 5 innings, team total over 2, minus 102. That's the current line at Pinnacle. First 5 innings for the White Sox. Let's see what that is. No, I do like Covey. And I'm very happy that he's.
Covey says the big difference is that he wasn't mixing up his speeds.
Yes.
So the second and third times through the lineup, he was and so that's all he's been focusing on is mixing up his speed so that he can get through the second and third times in the lineup.
And I did predict, if you recall, when he came back up from the minors, I was like, this guy might be good, and he was until he started breaking down physically. He was good in the minors to start.
Yeah,
I mean in the majors, his first few starts.
He was great in the first month. And Jared Trader saying, if you guys recall, and I remember this. Remember when Jared Trader was in the hospital? It was because his hemoglobin was critically low. Mm-hmm. Wow, there's learning so much about hemoglobin. He said mine went. Yeah, Jared Trader. That's why he was in the hospital. Said his was at 4.8. It was supposed to be between 14 and 17. They said, I'm lucky to be alive. We are lucky. We are thankful that you are alive, Jared Trader. You're part of the Low Bag family. We love having you here. How's your hemoglobin?
I think my hemoglobin is starting to be critically low. Jim, I'm feeling it.
Are you?
I know. I wasn't aware of this before. I think my hemoglobin is all fucked up right now, Jim.
Well,
what the fuck's going on here?
Well,
all right, I'm going to take the White Sox first 5 innings. Maybe you want to go on this one with me. It's a big, juicy line, plus 170, market wide. Wow. I'm going to check what Pinnacle has
Native Queen is on White Sox score first.
Let's check what that is. Let's check what the Native Queen. Huge shout out to Native Queen. Hemoglobin is definitely not low at all. High hemoglobin. Minus 119. Yes, man. I'm taking the White Sox first 5 innings plus 170. That might be a good play right there. White Sox to score first at minus 119. I think I'm going to take that one, Jim.
It's I like it.
And I'm taking the White Sox first half at plus 170.
I like it. I'm going to take time on this game. I think I just.
Well, it's a day game though, so you're not going to be able to put it on in the
White Sox Angels.
Yeah, it's a 4 o'clock Eastern time.
It is.
So yeah. All right, I'm taking the White Sox first 5 innings plus 170. I'm taking the White Sox first 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 102, and I think Native Queen might have just tipped us off to something. Let's not go crazy. Just positive EV. Not a lock, none of that. Positive EV. I think Native Queen might have just tipped us off to something there. Minus 119. White Sox to score first, and I'm just going to quickly check to see what Heritage might have here for that one. White Sox to score first would be minus 125. At Heritage, yeah, man, that might be a good play. That might be a good play there, Mr. Bag. White Sox to score first, minus 119.
Yeah, no, it's I'm gonna if I make a play on this game, I'll tweet it out. I don't want to push it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Since I've taken the White Sox 2 ways on the first 5 innings, I will. I think I'm going to hold off on it, but no, I am going to take it. I think Native Queen's right. White Sox score first. Minus 119. That's a tale of Native Queen. Shout out to Native Queen. I think you're right. It's the way I was thinking anyway about how this was going to go. I think it's probably a decent spot for Covey. I think it's probably not a good spot for Tropiano, and I'm willing to triple up on it. All right, are we done here?
Yeah.
All right, that's it for MLB. We are going to talk about CFL right now, which is a very interesting situation. Let me just review all the picks that we have given. Jimmy the Bag, Minnesota first 5 innings, team total over 2. Jimmy the Bag, Philly money line and alternative run line. Also Jimmy the Bag, San Francisco Giants game, first 5 under 4.5, minus 127, and full game under 8. I have a ton of picks here. White Sox first 5 team total over. San Francisco second half under 3.5, minus 140. Dodgers second half money line. White Sox score first. Tale of Native Queen. Thank you very much, Native Queen, minus 119. Arizona first 5 innings team total over 2. Yankees game under 9.5. Minnesota first 5 innings team total over 2. White Sox first 5 innings money line plus 170. Minnesota team total over 4.5. Oakland second half minus 135. Philly second half minus 125. That might be a terrible bet. Shout out to Wolverines for pointing out why Philly second half might be a terrible bet. And who knows, I might pull that one in the afternoon show. Minnesota minus 1. Dodgers minus 1. Mets plus 1. That might be a terrible bet as well. Shout out to Andy Blue 2525 who likes Pittsburgh here and has a great read on the Mets. Philly first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 139 and San Francisco under 8 minus 105. Those are all my bets. That's a lot of plays. We do sometimes get comments saying that pros do not make that many bets, and so the reason that that I'm making this many bets today, and I do other days as well, is because I'm not a pro. All right, let's move on. Okay, Jesus Christ, you're like pros don't make that many bets. Yeah, okay, no shit. Thank you, genius. All right, so let's move on to CFL. Very interesting situation for anyone who doesn't follow CFL closely. The Owls have acquired Johnny Manziel, right?
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel traded after not playing a regular season snap. The reports are, though, that he's not going to start here, although I was reading that he might play, but he's not going to start.
He's not going to start. Vernon Adams is not very good. Vernon Adams was cut when they brought Manziel into Hamilton.
I want to say one thing. Mr.
Sure.
Gokester 99, I'm against all of those White Sox plays, Pete. Let's go, brother. Yes, brothers don't always get along. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes brothers fight. You know why? Because they love each other so much. And that's what's going on right now with me and Mr. Gokester 99.
Kobe says Covey's curveball's been so much better as of late. He's been working in more changeups, and we talked about varying his speed. I think he's starting to get into a nice form.
Okay,
and if he
let's
can keep
move
hitting
on.
the corners, he will do well.
Tell you what else we're going to do. We are going to throw up the CFL record, and I want you all motherfuckers to look at this shit. Okay? Can we throw the CFL record up there, please? I want you motherfuckers to look at this shit. Look at that. Come on, Jimmy the Bag. 9-3
It's
plus
small-
6
small
units.
sample
Come on.
size.
Come on. No, yes, small sample size. That's a sample size. Okay?
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you. I know you're doing that for me, so thank you.
Yes.
So the Alouettes were in search of a spark. The big thing now, Johnny Football is going to help this team. I think. He's got the relationship with Sherman. Sherman's talked about if he ever coached in the CFL, how he'd want a mobile quarterback. They traded Chris Williams and Jamal Westerman to Hamilton, but they got 2 offensive linemen. Tony Washington and Landon Rice. They have the worst offensive line in the league. They have a lot of 17 sacks in 4 games. They could really use Washington and Rice. Washington will start at left tackle, and Rice will mix in rotation somewhere on the right side. Vernon Adams Jr., though, I don't think he can get the job done. So they're going to have a few sets for Johnny Manziel, but it's quite possible that the Eskimos, who are coming off a bye, and we remember what happened when the Stamps were coming off a bye, they destroyed Ottawa. Now, we'll get into the offense with the with the Eskimos in a bit, because this is an Eskimos offense that we remember put up like 42 points against the Lions. They've only averaged 15.5 points over the last 2 games, so their offense has been a real problem. And with Moss as their head coach, we always thought that offense wouldn't be a problem. It'd be more defense would be the problem, and that doesn't seem to be the case with this Eskimo team. Vernon Adams, you guys, the Americans may remember him. He was starting quarterback for Eastern Washington. He switched in his graduation year over to Oregon Ducks. Not throwing a pass in the CFL since 2016. That was with these Alouettes. He didn't look terrible. He looked bad through the air, but he's mobile, right? 575 yards, 4 TDs, 1 pick in the 4 games he played. Now, this Alouettes defense is good. And despite their 1-4 record, 0-2 at home, they beat Saskatchewan in Saskatchewan, and they played Calgary tough in Calgary. Now, I believe my man Justin Searcy watched that game, one of his first games he watched of the CFL. He just couldn't believe how bad the Alouettes were. But in Calgary, holding them to 25 points is really impressive. This Calgary is now, their offense hasn't been nearly as dominant as their defense, but it's very impressive. So I don't think we should sell this Alouettes defense is for real. And remember, they have a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. This is an Alouettes team that will get better as the year goes on. Now, the problem here is Eskimos are coming off a bye week. They're rested.
Yes.
And Mike Riley leads the CFL in passing yards.
See, now I definitely have to look into this game. I didn't bet this one yet. I don't have a pick. Trevor Holt says Edmonton over 48. Obviously, Edmonton, the Owls have been stalled out offensively recently and going way under even when they get blown out. But I'm thinking this might be a shot to take the over.
It might be. It might be, and Kelly McMillan, he joins our show. He's a great CFL capper. He's liking overs. He thinks for all these games. Now he's not sure, but he's leaning towards overs in all these games. And I'll contact I'll get a hold of him today.
Yeah.
But not applicable is on the under, and I will tell you what my play is right here. It is Alouettes team total under.
Wow.
That's what I'm on here. My concern is with the total. It's just 48. And my concern is the Eskimos are so rested. They've had 2 bad offensive days. Could they start rolling? I know that now the O-line's going to be helped with the Alouettes, and I'm certain that Vernon Adams is not going to try to do too much.
Oh, here's a personal question. I just want to answer it. Do you mind if I answer it?
Sure.
Mikey D 222444 says, Pete, what's your record when wearing a pink shirt? It's horrible. I get shot down by legit 4s, literally. Terrible. Trust me. So I don't even wear pink shirts when I'm trying anymore. I do well in blue. But I mean, that's an interesting question. But yeah, no, literally. Shot down by legit fours in a pink shirt. Terrible record with a pink shirt. Thanks for the question, Mikey D. All right, what else do we have here?
Searcy says, I can get with that, Jimmy. And it was also hearing Searcy talk about how bad this Alouettes offense looked. Now, remember, that's in Calgary against a very good defense. Now, I just feel like there's pressure on them now. Manziel's probably sold some tickets. Vernon Adams, I mean, I'm surprised they're going with Adams. I'm surprised they're going with a guy who was cut just so Hamilton could make room for Manziel. I really feel like not applicable like in the under. I have a lean towards the under, but just a rested team is concerning. I don't think Adams is going to do too much. I could see Goksters. We saw this line. This line's moved up to 9.5 and 10. It says Goksters, I like Edmonton by 2 touchdowns and field goal. I get it. I get it.
All right, well, if you want to line shop around, you can. For Montreal, I'm seeing 18.5 as the team total. If you want to,
I'm getting 18.5 too.
Are you checking Bet365 and everywhere? All right, the best odds I'm getting right now are minus 115. That's at Heritage. If you can find anything better, we'll give you that one. If not, we'll give you the Heritage line. 18.5 minus 115. And that's an official pick from Jimmy the Bag. Yeah, I mean, Edmonton, the Owls have just been absolutely stalled out offensively. Do you think that's ever going to change around?
Yes. I do. I do. Now, the Alouettes offensive coordinator was our BC Lions offensive coordinator for a few years. I think that this Alouettes team will get better as the season goes on, and that's what happens when you have 2 new offensive coordinators. This has been one of the worst runs, the worst run of their franchise. And, people like coming out to that outdoor stadium. It's McGill Outdoor Stadium. It's a cool outdoor stadium. It's a cool place to watch a football game. I think that the Alouettes I think they will get better as the season goes on. And we've seen that. They went into Saskatchewan, beat Saskatchewan, and then we saw Saskatchewan shit all over the Ticats in Saskatchewan and in Hamilton. I really feel like this is the spot. Seriously saying, what's the official play? The official play for me is Alouettes team total under 18.5.
Mr. Gokster likes Edmonton by 2 touchdowns and a missed field goal. And not applicable also, despite liking the under, likes Edmonton by 20. So it seems like there's some backup for you here.
Yeah,
on just the Owls just having another bad offensive day.
No, but Edmonton's averaged 15.5 points over the last 2 games, and I'm telling you, this Alouettes D is good. So they were averaging 31.7 points over their first 3 games of the season. I think that these breaks are so important for these teams. Each CFL team gets 3 buys a season, and I just think it's a big deal. I think they could easily smash this team, and I don't trust Vernon Adams at all.
Nutflush 16 says Manziel will get in and turn the ball over. That's possible as well. Jared Trader, unpopular opinion, lean Montreal plus the points, and you're only getting 10 there. Other people predicting a 20-point win.
I can understand Schrader saying that. There's no reason, that's why, even though how bad Montreal is, Edmonton, there's no reason to trust that they can beat a team by 10 points right now if you've watched their offense last couple days. Now, Riley probably liked the break. Riley said that his team was not going out partying in Montreal. I don't know if we can believe that or not. The way I broke this game down, I tried to find the one play that I could believe in more than any other play and only take that one play. And I think that's what I'll continue to do for CFL moving forward. All
right. Well, Jimmy the Bag from Canada, CFL fan his whole life. Great record in CFL so far this year. Taking Owls. Team total under 18.5 minus 115 is an official pick. I'm not going to have a pick on this one as of right now. Maybe in the evening show. We'll review this game again in the evening show. Maybe I'll throw a pick on there as well. But as of right now, it's going to be a pass for me. We had a very nice show as usual. Ups and downs, some jokes here, a bunch of handicapping. The usual show that we try, no show is perfect. I feel like every show is pretty good, partially because we do our absolute best to make every freaking show as good as possible. You know what I'm saying?
We care.
Anytime I see any kind of opportunity for a joke, bam, I'm trying to find a few seconds to go for it. That's the Loshak and The Bag show for right now. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks so much, everyone.